Well, let's do some more wiring, huh? Let's, we're working on the cab. Using the original pigtail, I've exposed the wires. We'll just, out of this loom, we'll find the wires that we're supposed to use and we'll hook those up. All right, a little bit of digging. I found the 3 here. It was a much longer piece. I went ahead and cut that, so now I'm just going to splice this together. Because really, when I get to it, this wiring loom is going to be hanging from about there. So I have just enough length to go ahead and splice in my new floor switch. All right, sealed up just in case we get some accidental moisture in there. All right, well, so I have now gone through the loom here, harness, and I've isolated. This is the set of wires that go up to the light switch. I've already started crimping, but figured I would show you where that sits in the loom there, in the harness. Wow, loom. These are the wires. And I've got our main one, and then we got a bunch. These will control all sorts of like dimming and headlights and all that good stuff. Sends power down to our new floor switch. All right, headlight switch. Those are all shrunk, and we're ready to hook those up onto our switch. Okay, we have the wires for our wiper. There is a park. There is a 1-speed, what is it called? Yeah, high, low, park. And then this blue one here is for the washer power. So when you push the... Okay, looking at the washer wiring now. We have a ground, we have our power for the wiper, and then we have our low-speed park, which is the black one. And then we have our washer lead, which is here, and then our slow, or that would be the fast here, the high. Those are wired in. I use the original plug, just to make sure I've got some continuity. All right, we're in the dash. So this is the feed from Painless. And this is the wired up section that usually in the book responds to or corresponds to all of the horn and the turn signal, left, right, power into the turn signal itself. Now this is the original curvy harness connector, and it is nothing like the connector they show in the book, because we're dealing with a 71, and usually 72 and onward have this kind of like flat square one, not this crescent shaped one. Now all of these colors line up with the Painless colors. You know, they're all the same. They all describe the same functionality in the book, as well as what looks like is on the wiring, and as well as I'm being shown on, this is a copy of the original wiring for the vehicle. It all looks about the same, but there's nothing there's nothing on here that is 100% yes, this is for this, this is for this. This is more like it's usually this way, or you may find it this way. The sad part about this is I can't, hook up the battery so I can test some of this stuff. So I have to just kind of go with my gut and hope that this is going to work well. I'm sure it will, but there's some risk in this. Okay, so we have our, I'm going to block the light there. All right, we have our neutral safety switch on the purple that goes over into the original loom spot with the proper attachment. We have our reverse light switch that is on the original dongle end as well. And then we have, well, our brake light switch. I've just decided, well, let's go ahead and just tie those together. At some point here, when I do get ready to put everything back together, I will go ahead and, attach these properly to places in the body so they don't rattle around and make noise. Okay, we have our ignition switch wired in. Carefully, we looped it up and over the column. Nice little channel there in place to allow us to have some non-chafing wiring. Okay, I think we're on to the instrument panel next. All right, wiring up the dash panel. Here's the original plug-in for the instrument cluster. I've been able to wire everything. It's been mostly close. I'm going to have to do some research here. I've got these two tan lines coming out of slot number 2. And according to the schematics, that's brake warning lamps, so I'm not sure why there's 2 of those. And then I've got a ground here coming off of number 7. And then off number 12, I have a black wire that's the same thickness and color as the ground. It's just a solid black. But according to the schematic, that should be a black or a brown, or black with a brown stripe, and it goes to a terminal by battery. But I don't know, does that mean, is that a ground or is that a hot? Okay, we finished wiring in the last sensor. What it was the brake warning sensor from the proportioning valve in the fire or in the engine compartment. So we ran that over here using a brown wire, at least so it was close, and that's finished out. So our instrument panel is now just waiting for a small sub panel so we can provide a ground and a hot 12 volt to that. Next thing, we went ahead and wired up the light for the heat control. We also ran another wire up to the radio. I cut the original wire that the radio had, since when you would turn the radio on, it would turn the light on full blast, because I wanted the light to be able to turn on with the instrument cluster dash lights. So that is now set as a dimmable connector, and I took the radio one and I just clipped it off, put an end on it so it wouldn't touch anything. Now we're doing the wiper motor. I had earlier accidentally wired up both the switch and the motor to the same connectors because the wires were similar. I have hence separated that, so now I have the wiper switch. I'm going to get that wired up. Then I need to order a new cigarette lighter because the one that is in there is potato. It is so corroded and rusted on the inside, it's useless. Then I think at that point, oh yeah, I did connect the power for the blower. That's the only one I needed to connect because I didn't cut any of the other original wires that ran to the heat sensor inside the unit itself. So that's done too. So really, our next steps, radio harness done, ignition all done, instrument panel all done except for ground and hot, ignitions or a light switch all done. This set of wires over here are all the tail light section wires, so we do need to do that one as well. But we're getting close. So I have discovered, okay, so dome lights, that is a white wire that runs up underneath the dash here along here. And now it's coming out here, but it was kind of buried in the dash and followed and came up through there. Went over here and it tied into the other one. And yeah, I've cleaned up the button here and the button on the other side. Those are good. I can now put a continuity tester on those, and when you hit the button, it completes the circuit, and when you let go, it breaks the circuit. Actually, it does the other way around. When you open it up, it completes the circuit, and that turns the dome light on, which, of course, also has white and brown wires. In our glove box here, we have a provision, and it wasn't used, for a light for the glove box. I've ordered one, just a generic GM one, so I will need to run some power from that sub panel block that I bought and run that over here to do the light. Yeah, to augment this, to supply power to the instrument cluster, I've gone ahead and I've run a battery 30 amp lead, and it will be stopping at a fuse block that'll anchor underneath here somewhere. And that will run a couple of things that we need. It'll run the glove box light, and it will also run the instrument cluster. Yeah. And it'll give me 2 extra circuits to run the spotlights, which we do have. Those were a dealer installed option, so it shouldn't be too hard to wire those back in. Okay, I've run a dedicated ground and hot into the chassis, or into the cab, because needed a couple more circuits for the spotlights and a couple other things. So I have a small sub panel here that's wired directly, as I just showed you. When I'm ready, this will be zip stripped back here, and it's got a cover that goes on top of it to keep it safe. But I'm running, this can support 6 circuits. This broke, so quality, I guess. So I'm running 4 circuits, as you can see, 1, 2, 3, 4. We have spotlight, power to the instrument panel, and this is our run over here to where there never was, but there soon will be, a glove box light. So that buttons up the cab, honestly. We're going to be putting a new dash pad in, so I'm going to leave everything out as it sits, because boy, I don't want to take everything back out of here again just to put the dash pad on. So we'll put the dash pad on, then we'll assemble the rest of the dash, and the cab is done. Cab is done. Now we need to move to the back. Okay. Our spotlights are wired in. Spotlights wired in. I think we may have already covered that, but this will be tied back, like I did mention. Wow, this will be tied back I have now run the dome lights, which require power and ground. I've checked the wiring all the way up to the original light, the dome light, and that works fine. What I've done also is I've carved out an extra loop of power and ground for the dome lights. So in case I want to add a small footlight here and then another small footlight on that side that are kind of green in color, that is period. This truck didn't come with it, but I really feel that a couple of extra lights down by your feet might be a good thing. All right, we are down to the last bit, which is this. Not the Flintstone. Look over here. This. That's our tail section. So we now need to figure out where to run that so we can get that to the back of the truck and get our marker lights and our brake lights, reverse lights, everything else finished out. And technically then we might be done and start testing these. Okay. Cab's done. Now we're just doing our tail section. Since we have a Flintstone area here, I'm going to go ahead and run the wire through this. When we go to repair this, we'll put a grommet in there around the wires so it doesn't get cut. For now, we're just going to do like a casing around it, and we'll get this wire run to the back of our rig. I still need to take off all these extra side markers back down to the stock, and yeah, we just have our tail section. Awesome. I'm going to end it here today. We have buttoned up our engine bay. We buttoned up our cab, at least wiring wise. Hello, Swan. And we are left with just the tail section, get rid of the marker lights. And so this seemed like a pretty good spot to stop. I'm going to go ahead and clean up now for the day. It's gray. The reason I want to do the tail section in a separate video is because we're going to replace the original 7-pole that's sitting on there. We're going to replace it with a modern version that has standard RV wiring, and we're going to put that little 4-prong one on there as well, in case we or whoever does get the truck wants to pull a U-Haul or a similar rental modern thing. Oh man, so many bugs. All right, thanks for coming by on My Yard is My Garage. I'm Bishop, your host. My yard is my garage. Thanks for helping out today with the wiring. Man, what a project. Pretty soon we're going to start that now. It's going to be great. If you like what you see, go ahead and hit subscribe. If you want to be notified when I have new content, go ahead and hit the bell. It all helps it bubble up to the top, and maybe somebody will get more than entertainment out of this, and maybe they'll get inspired to go ahead and start maybe rewiring their own rig or just getting out there and wrench. All right, we'll see you next time.